So we are reading Robert Monroe's The Far Journey. We are on chapter 8, page number 101 of the book and page 56 of the PDF.
We did not create time-space as you know it, nor the physical earth, nor the human process, nor the energy flow itself. That is not our department, as you put it. Our concern is the output and the quality of such. To this end, we adjust the internal flow as needed.
So what he's very clearly, the InSpec is very clearly telling Robert Monroe here that there is a higher intelligence even than the InSpec, which is actually the creator. So again, when we look at our system, also the Hindu system, every level of creation has its own Brahmaji, own Vishnuji, own Shivji, and then the next level has their own creation. So as you go higher in the modalities, you will go into higher and higher and higher levels. This actually comes out very beautifully in Ultimate Journeys, in Robert Monroe's next book. But over here, he clearly states that our department is only this much, and we are monitoring the flow of information, the flow of energy within this basic time frame or this particular space.
I would have to let that one pass by too. Try to keep from any deviation. You will learn of the basic or original design. The greatest of virtues, patience. You are intended to walk before you fly, as you put it. Those who fly first must reach back and remember they have already learned to walk. This was necessary for you.
So now what did we learn, or what did we read in the Magical Child? They are the matrices, right? And you have to cross each matrix at a time. Now, what he's saying over here is that once you've learned a lesson, then you know the lesson, but you need to remember that you've learned the lesson. So over here, Robert Monroe is going out of body. He knows how to go out of body, but he needs to relearn everything that he has learned, and but that learning will be much quicker because he has already experienced it in a previous life, so as to say.
Now came the first of the high, hard ones. Why me? Why did I learn to fly first? You had the latent capability to perform an important function of a very minor nature at this point in the development of human consciousness.
So very clearly he's saying, the InSpec is telling him that you had a capability which we wanted to utilize and which was important for the growth of humanity as a whole. So many times we've had this experience with many people who have NDEs, that's near death experiences. They go into, they actually die, they flatline. And when they go there, they are asked to come back because they have certain capabilities. Right? There are many books on NDEs. Anita Morjani is there. Eben Alexander is there. There are quite a number of books of people who've gone there and they are told to come back. So over here, they're saying that you had that capacity. So we wanted to utilize that capacity that you had.
May I ask something?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so in the case of near-death experience,
Yeah.
As an outsider, as a witness, as a spectator, and you see someone flatlining, and then the person comes back, how do you know it's the same person that's come back who's had a near-death experience, or some other people has taken over?
You really don't know.
You don't know, right?
If you want a flat answer, then you really don't know.
Very interesting question, Poonam.
Yeah. So I keep mentioning this in Ruth Montgomery's book. She's written quite a number of books. She talks about walk-ins, where when one person is about to quit, right? So the energy occupying that body has decided to quit. And another energy decides that, okay, I can still use this body. So that another energy can come and occupy that body. And this can happen many times. That's why many times what also happens is with people who have experienced near-death experiences, their character changes. The way that they behave can undergo a massive change after the NDE.
And so what about this Murjani lady? Maybe it's not her.
Maybe it's not her. You have to go and ask her, are you you?
Are you really you?
And I think Poonam, the only way to really experience this is to experience it.
Gosh.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm not in a rush. No.
No, but as we said that characteristics change and that can be noticed, of course, if someone
Yeah. So
new comes
sometimes
in.
the same person, see, today all of us are reading this book. We've read many books. I'm sure that some of you feel that these last few months and all the stuff that we've done has changed you in a certain way. I think in the excursion workshops, whenever people come for a workshop, most of them say that all the stuff that we've been doing, the meditations, the excursion workshop itself, has created changes in them. So, like that, when you have a near death experience and you go and experience something, now that experience is bound to change you. It's bound to have an effect in your character, in the way that you look at things. Your perspective is bound to change. And at the end of the day, it's all a matter of perspective. We've seen in this book also, where he talks about everything is a matter of perspective. What is your perspective with which you are looking at something? That becomes extremely important.
What possible capability could that be? What function? It must be so minor, I can't perceive it. You need but examine yourself, as you and only you know what you are. As to function, you are performing it very well, as expected. With a little help now and then, I hope, whatever the function is, can't pull it all together instantly, have to sort it out. Even to the beginning of my flying, did they help me on that one? You were given some assistance. One facet of your capability was the actual instigator. It should be obvious to you. It directs your actions so frequently you have become conscious of it. The percept flared instantly. I always felt the trait was of dubious quality. It always created more problems than solutions. Curiosity.
So, now what is that latent capability? Curiosity. He wants to find out, he wants to investigate, he wants to know. So basically, they are using that latent capability of his and they are assisting him into inquiring further into what is. Okay, so it's very clear they are assisting him as well as using his latent capability.
That is correct. And the old saying, curiosity killed a different species. It may kill cats on occasion. You are alive in many forms.
So you are alive in many forms. Okay, this is important. You are alive in many forms means that he is existing in many cases in different forms at the same time. It's not that he's only existing as Robert Monroe. He's existing in many forms at the same time.
Ask something. So
Very
this is
Yeah.
in different realities you're
In di-
existing. Huh.
Absolutely. We are existing in different realities, in different timelines at the same time. So if you really see, everything is happening at the same time. This came out very beautifully in that movie, Interstellar,
Mhm.
right? So everything is happening at the same time. We are
Mhm.
existing in multiple realities at the same time. In when we were watching Fringe, right?
Yeah.
What was it? It was going to go into the alternate reality
Yeah.
where you are existing in this reality and that reality at the same time. Now, that is
Yeah.
only two realities.
Yeah.
But every time that we make a choice, we are existing in choice A as well as choice B
Mm.
because both are
How,
existing. You
what do you
understand?
mean by that? We have choice A and choice B.
So, one second. Shimangla, can you? Okay, wait, I'll have to stop Shimangla's share. So when you look at it from here, so this is the line, right? Now I have a choice. I can take choice A or I can take choice B. Now, if I take choice B, this becomes my this becomes my life path. If I take choice B, this becomes my life path. Now, both realities are existing at the same time, right? Now, I come again to this point. Now, again, I take a choice here and I take a choice. I can take a choice here. Now, these all are existing.
The choices are existing, Bhaiya, but you are not existing in all the
The
choices.
choice, because if you would have taken that choice,
Yeah.
you would be in this timeline. And if you took this choice, you would be in this timeline.
Yeah.
Right? So your consciousness in the awareness that you are existing right now, if you have taken this choice and then taken this choice, you are here at this point right now.
Okay.
Right.
But it
So
doesn't
you
mean
mean
this does not exist.
you mean the choice when we come in the womb, what life we want? Is that the choice?
No. Every time you take a choice in your life, you make a choice
Oh,
in your life, the
okay.
alternate reality exists.
Okay.
So again, in Ruth Montgomery's books, and also in that PMH Atwater's books, they talk about which is the reality that you are perceiving. Okay, so now what does that mean? Just now, the 3D conscientious reality that we are looking at is this reality. One second.
Right.
It is this reality.
Mm.
But I can change my focus of attention and start focusing on this reality. Then as far as I am concerned, this will become my reality. This will not be my
Okay.
reality anymore.
Okay. So that means the two realities are existing, but it's when you can shift into any of the ones
Exactly.
that
So now the moment you change your perspective about something,
you've actually
everything
changed.
shifts for you, right? Your world shifts.
Yeah.
What was a conflict suddenly doesn't remain a conflict anymore
Yeah.
because you've changed your perspective. So now
Then,
which reality exists?
Yes.
but then what you've given up is over. How can that still carry
Now,
on
suppose you
existing?
again reverse your perspective. Then what happens?
Then I'll go back to another one, no?
One
You
second.
can go back to the
Don't attempt to logically wrap your head around this.
Okay.
The point here is that every time we make a choice, we create a different reality.
Yeah.
Now, in the Gita also, it's very clearly said, our reality is created by our vasanas,
Right.
our desires. Okay. Our desires make us make a choice. So as soon as we make a choice, we are creating an alternate reality.
May I?
Yes, Sharma, Ravindraji.
But don't you think that the universe goes on giving us small hints what to choose and what not to choose?
Absolutely. So when we are born, we make a life path. Okay. So we make a life path that this is going to be my life path.
But again, every day it goes on giving you the guidance.
Correct. So now maybe over here I made a choice which shifted me here. It shifted me out of sync. Right. Now the universe is constantly going to give me indications that boss, you're out of sync. You better come back here.
Yeah.
Now this is where the patterns start coming in.
If someone is aware, he'll understand the guidance.
Absolutely. So that is where awareness comes in, right? Now, if the universe is constantly telling you, boss, watch this, there's a pattern over here. The moment you start becoming aware of your patterns and start transcending them, you'll come back onto your life path. The one that you had chosen to experience in this life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I have another question. So
Yeah.
here they are writing about different species that you
Correct.
are there, like in a cat or many other forms. So what
Correct.
does that mean? That's not different realities.
No, so
That
that
is
is a different reality. You can exist as a cat, you can exist as a donkey, you can exist as Mukul Agarwal, you can exist as Mr. Tom, Dick, and Harry at the same time.
So only in different realities, not in
So
the
is
same.
your conscious, that spark which is running you, Mukul Agarwal,
Hmm.
or is it bigger than that?
So, Niket, you mean to say that the other reality is always coexisting?
It is always coexisting. You can shift from one reality to the other. The moment you make a choice that I want to experience this in this way, that is going to become your experience, right? It doesn't mean the other reality is still not existing.
Hmm.
It's not an easy concept to wrap your head around, right?
Yes.
This is something that you just need to accept. But
Yes.
again, watch your life, right? The way your life changes by the choices you make.
Bhaiya, that means there are a lot of choices you're getting, and which one you choose, there are realities all along. There are so many paths that are there. You're saying,
Absolutely.
but we have to choose the path so that if I go to the left, that becomes my path, or if I go to the right, that will be my reality.
Correct. Absolutely.
That's all you're saying, and that there are many realities are there in the world.
Absolutely.
But I have to choose my own reality.
That is where the free will comes in, right?
Acha.
You have the ability to make a choice. That is what your free will is all about. Now, whether your choice is in concurrence or is in tune or is in resonance with your life program that you decided to experience, that is another game altogether. That is what we need to become aware of. See, this is explained in Bruce Moen's books very well. He talks about it like this. Okay, so now when we are in a disembodied state, our conscious awareness is so much. So like if I'm in F27, right? I am aware over there. Now in F27, I make a decision that, okay, this is the life I want to experience. I put in an arzi into the planning center. What we also discussed over here. So many screws, so much planning is going on. So I have put in my arzi that these are the things I want to experience in my next life. Right? Now, once I am born, I forget this. My conscious awareness compresses. Are you all understanding? So now I forget what my life plan was. Now over here, I'm incognito. I don't know what I am, who I am. Right? Now, once we transcend back, we again come back into this full awareness. That is what the life review that they talk about is. That when I come back into this awareness, I immediately realize what was my plan. And then I get to assess for myself, what did I achieve over here? Whether I made the right choices and did the thing which I wanted to do in that expanded state of consciousness. So now what are we attempting to do in awareness, right? We are attempting to increase this.
Yes.
We are attempting to expand this awareness so that we can make more and more right choices and come into this conscious awareness. Are you all getting that?
Yeah. Yes, Bhaiya.
So that's the game. So he's saying that what is your curiosity? That means you're out to investigate, you're out to learn, you're out to do new things. So that is what we are using, and we are using that latent capability of yours to expand conscious awareness in human consciousness as a whole. Okay, I'm shutting this down now.
Yes.
Thank you.
One question.
Yeah.
I want to know, see, normally in the Vedas, we learn about us being in choiceless situations, but basically the choice we have is only in our attitude.
Correct.
Not in the, so that, so the choices are limited to our attitude, not what we can do otherwise.
Naturally, your attitude will decide what you're doing. Your attitude is going to decide what you're doing. Your attitude is going to decide what is the perspective you're going to take. In the same situation, your attitude can be one of agitation, And in the same situation, it can be one of peace and harmony.
So the action is more of a mental state than anything else.
No, the action is taking place at a physical level, but whether we are actually taking action or not, how do you know? When you are dreaming, you are taking action, but are you really taking the action from our perspective? Now, who is to say that we are talking to each other? This is not a dream. Is anyone to say that? You tell me. Can you prove that we are talking? Of course, now we have the Zoom recording. That's a different matter. But and in these expanded states, most of the communication is all non-verbal, right? So you're just knowing. You get a sense of knowing. So where's the communication coming from? We don't know. But it is guiding stuff. Okay, so that's the basic idea.
Thank you.
Shimangla, you're on. It's actually fascinating stuff, you know. Now, when you'll understand this more, when I tell you that when you experience the higher focus levels, this stuff that he's talking about actually becomes a real experience for you. You know, you really experience it, you really feel it. So then there is no ambiguity in your mind. You know that, yeah, it's there. Whether I like it or not, it's there.
You need but examine yourself, as you and only you know what you are. As to function, you are performing it very well as expected. With a little help now and then, I hope whatever the function is. Can't pull it all together instantly. Have to sort it out. Even to the beginning of my flying. Did they help on that one? You were given some assistance. One facet of your capability was the actual instigator. It should be obvious to you. It directs your actions so frequently you have become conscious of it. The percept flared instantly. I always felt the trait was of dubious quality. It always created more problems than solutions. Curiosity. That is correct. And the old saying, curiosity killed. A different species, it may kill cats on occasion. You are alive in many forms. Now, if I could get a percept on this function business, I might be able to perform more efficiently. We will attempt to bring you into an awareness of the totality of which your function is but a part. In other meetings, until that is accomplished, you are unable to obtain a clear percept of any rote you receive will distort the function you are performing.
So what they are saying very clearly here is that this is a need to know basis. If your conscious awareness is not ready to handle some information and we start giving you that information, then it will cause more problems than solutions. So hang on.
I held on to the promise of that statement, feeling very humble and inadequate, and astounded that I remained as calm as I had in the face of the encounter that was taking place. The effrontery of my probing, the extent of my ignorance, their radiant response to these flickers of thought was so profound that I nearly broke down and lost control. No patronizing, no compassion, no feeling of superiority, but beyond friendship, beyond brotherhood, beyond father, mother, parent, beyond endearment, beyond words. If they had told me they were my God creator, I would have settled for that.
So now the communication has a purity that transcends any other kind of communication. There is no malice, there is no kind of a agenda. It simply is just a state of being, state of communication. So it's so clear and so I mean, crystal clear that there is nothing or no doubt left in his mind as to that communication. Okay, there's a purity in that communication.
But we are not Mr. Monroe. They even knew how to pull me together, the Mr. Monroe stuff. If I had been physical, I would have laughed uproariously in relief. Or thank you, I needed that.
So, so now in the last paragraph, this is something that Mamaji was asking, that why am I clicking out? Now we are all reaching stages where we are getting information that we are not capable of actually handling. So it is being done at a subconscious level. I, you are understanding what I'm saying, right? That is why after, and this happens to most people who attend programs, once they start attending, till they reach a certain stage, click outs start taking place, and then they move into the next stage. So what I always tell people is, in any growth path, you have a growth, then you come to a plateau, and then again you have a growth. Now this plateau state is very, very important. It is the assimilating state. If you drop out in the plateau state, then you go back down, right? But if you can hold the plateau state and still resiliently do whatever you've been doing, then the next level of growth will come. So the click out state, if you all are having click outs during the meditations, hold on to it. Don't let it go. Many times people will say, hey, I to click out, I to click out, and then they stop joining. So then you go down. You'll not go into the next level.
We have another name for you. We can use that if you wish. I was happy to leave it the way it was for the moment. There was nothing formal or reserved the way they used their ident for me. But I wondered how it started. One of us began to use it in a meeting in your work area. Yes, laboratory. Thereafter, we applied this ident to you among all of us. I knew instantly which one, and it came as no surprise. I wish that they would give him my greetings. We have done so.
So now what happened? One of these inspects was working where Robert Monroe was working or worked with him. And he put a label, okay, or a chap on Robert Monroe. So that chap became Robert Monroe's ident. And then as more and more people started using that ident for Robert Monroe, it became more and more pronounced. So that became his ident. So it's very similar, right? Now, when a child goes to school or when a child is first named, right? The child does not know the ident. The child does not know its name. But as more and more people start identifying the child with that name, the ident starts to stick. And more people will start calling the child as he grows up by that name, right? So that becomes the ident of the person. Now I'm talking in 3D reality terms. In the esoteric, in the advanced, I mean the expanded state, also the same thing works. You create an ident for yourself, or someone gives you an ident and then everyone starts using that ident.
But the problem, the basic question still remains unanswered. If I don't know where I'm going, what I am supposed to do, I might go in the wrong direction again. I know I already have done this several times. We will help you become much more aware very soon in terms of your time. There is a facet of your particular process that must be accomplished first. It is all coming together rapidly. The time, as you put it, is growing short.
So, so again, now the same question that we were talking about, the timeline, he's asking now, if I make the wrong choice, what happens? He's saying that you have support. So it's that inner voice which keeps telling us, no, don't do this, go the other way, right? But whether we listen to that voice or not, depends on our awareness. The more aware we are, the better the choices we make. Again, nothing is better or worse, right? Basically, what are we attempting to do is to get on the timeline, on the path that we have decided that we want to experience in this life.
With their perspective of time, that could mean 1,000,000 years. By that time, I'll be long gone, and humans too. We refer to the span within your present physical life so that your awareness can be accelerated. We recommend that you use only the ident homing signal as you describe it that we provide. If it is not there, you may draw the inference that you need to focus on your physical manifestation until the point that it is present.
So now, again, it boils back to awareness, that what is it that I'm meant to do? Am I meant to do this at this time, or am I going to wait for that time? And the more expanded your awareness becomes, the more aware you become as to when is it that you need to make a choice, or when is it that you need to make a action or do an action. Okay, this is something, again, I'm talking from experience, that that split second timing is also there. When is it that you need to do it? And you'll find that it really works.
In other words, if it comes, playtime is over, now back to work. There are certain patterns you must undergo before you proceed. We will be with you through them, but not in your physical consciousness. We have prepared an exercise for you that may help you through such experiences. Do you wish to use it? I had a percept of the kind of exercise, but not its content, and knew that it would be rough. If they say it will help, of course I wish it. Turn inward and close tightly.
So turn inward and close tightly. We are going out into a particular experiment. So now what is this? They're going to create an alternate reality for him in order so that he can experience something which is necessary for his growth.
Click. I'm flying a single engine Navion over a large city. Bill is in the seat beside me. We are about 2,000 feet up and we are just below the overcast. Turbulence is minor. Gauges look good. It's a borrowed aircraft. I need to keep an appointment in the city below. Bill leans and yells in my ear. You're going to have to land now if you want to be on time. I look around. I don't see the airport. Never mind the airport. Bill points downwards. You have to land now, down there. I nod, nose the Navion down, throttle back, low pitch, gear down, 3 in the green, gentle spiral, trying to decide where to set it down. The street full of cars. There's a wide flat roof. I turn to look at Bill for approval, but he's gone. Gone? I look back quickly. I'm below 1,000, S speed 70, 500 down. Have to decide fast. Opt for the roof. At least if I get it stopped, I won't kill anybody else while in the street. Line up the roof. Full flaps, nose over steeply. Drop her in right on the edge of the roof. Stall warning, yelling its head off. Chop throttle, switches off. Let her drop out, drop out. She's down, brakes, stand on them. Other edge coming up fast, now slow. She's going to make it. She's down and stopped. I sigh and stop shaking. It's hot, and I open the canopy and climb down to the roof. I stand there looking at the Navion. It's all in one piece, not a scratch. All I have to do is find the stairway down and I'll be on time for my appointment. But how will I get? the Navion back to its owner. It will never be able to take off a 200-foot roof. Have to remove the wings, lower it to the street by a crane. What a stupid decision. Why did I have to? Click. Reset. Click. The street or the roof? The street. Cars will see me coming in and clear a path down the middle. Full flaps, nose down. Watch the taller building. That's it, right over the street, straight down the middle. Watch for turbulence, crosswinds at the corner, flare out. Hold her off. Get out of the way, get out of the way. Can't you see me? Stall warnings, yelling. She's quitting on me. Too quick. Flash of light, heat, terrible heat.
So now what is happening? He is being put into a scenario, right? Now, till he gets it right, it's going to repeat itself. So this is the second time, right? So second time he didn't get it. Now again, click and reset.
Click, reset, click. I'm flying a single engine Navion over a large city. Bill is in the seat beside me. We are about 2,000 feet up and we are just below the overcast. Turbulence is minor, gauges look good. It's a borrowed aircraft. I need to keep an appointment in the city below. Bill leans and yells in my ear, "You're going to have to land now if you want to be on time." I look around. I don't see the airport. "Never mind the airport." Bill points downwards. "You have to land now. Down there." "Not this kid," I yell back. "The appointment will have to wait. If it costs me the deal, so be it. Now where's the airport?" Click, reset, click. It's a borrowed aircraft. I need to keep an appointment in the city below. Bill leans and yells in my ear, "You're going to have to land now if you want to be on time." I look around. I don't see the airport. "Never mind the airport." Bill points downwards. "You have to land now. Down there." I laugh, swing the yoke over in front of Bill, clip the parachute harness across my chest. Then I unsnap my seat belt, open the canopy. "You fly it home." I yell as I jump far enough to clear the tail assembly. Pull the D-ring, feel the jerk of the chute opening, and start to float down. Click, reset, click. "Thanks for the offer of a loan of your Navion, but that's playing it too tight. Couldn't possibly make it on time, so I called and put off the appointment." Click. The haze was very thick and Bill was beside me. He was rolling lightly. "It took you long enough." I blanked, then rolled with him. "You certainly weren't any help." He smoothed. "Use it in good health." I spun a little. "Where's a..." Sorry. "I got the assignment. You better go back now. You have many things to put together." I replied, "I guess so. See you." I turned, dove inward, ident physical body, and re-entered without incident. I sat up in bed, then got up, put on a bathrobe, and went out on the deck. It was a clear night, quiet and warm. I was still unsure as to how or why it happened, but I had no doubt as to the reality of the experience. If I encountered it and knew it, how many more thousands of human beings living right at this time point on Earth also have gone through the same or similar pattern? If they have, to whom would they tell it? And the other training centers on planets circling, those billions of stars, tied to us by an intelligent energy field common to all of us, were they as unaware as we? I felt very small, looking at the stars and beyond, but not alone, never alone.
So now this last line, "I felt very small looking at the stars and beyond, but not alone, never alone. Now, because in his experience, he has experienced that these people or these intelligences, these energies are there to support him, to guide him in all his experiences. Now that is reality for him. That is wisdom for him. He is not going to be affected if anyone tells him they don't exist, because it is experience and he has the knowledge. It has become wisdom.
Chapter 9, Rainbow Route. At this point, I began to accept my new role, whatever it was, and no longer pushed hard for further adventures or activities in the other energy systems I knew to exist. I did realize that in my sleep state, much was taking place which affected my conscious thought and action. I made no effort to investigate this, believing that it would take care of itself and was supportive of the course I was following. If I had resumed the sleepers classes, hopefully I was applying what I learned in my daily life.
So now what we were talking about, he has also realized that forcing something is not going to work. He has to allow things to unfold in the way that they need to unfold. And there is a higher intelligence which is managing and controlling this unfoldment.
Spaced through several years of time were periodic meetings, instruction sessions with the inspect. I still use this ident because I knew of no other appropriate one that was not tainted with cultural philosophical connotations. The most recent inspect event precipitated the gathering of all my notes on the interim adventures, and the pieces filled in the mosaic.
So see, now all of us are actually tainted by our belief systems, right? Now, Robert Monroe did not want any kind of belief system to actually affect his investigations or the experiences that he was having. So he really attempted to keep religion and what he was experiencing in two separate compartments. Okay, this is what he's saying. So he doesn't use the term God or anything like that. He still uses the term inspect because there is no better way for him to explain.
The following is no more than a survey of the salient or critical parts of the sequence. In the interest of brevity and a feeling of get to the pointism, the usual preamble and closure as to going OOB and returning to the physical are omitted except when highly relevant. Each of the following events began at the point in non-time space near the edge of inspect territory, with at least one of them present.
So now he knows very clearly that there are many inspects, right? Now he's cutting the shaft out and he's going directly to the experiences which he's having with the inspects. Shivangla, slow down a little.
Click. If I have a desire, curiosity, no, more than curiosity, it would be to know, not believe, but know what is beyond this point, where they are. It is a question of remembering as you are at this point. You cannot, the word, tolerate a visit among us. We can prepare you for it if that is your wish. The preparation is not simple.
So now Robert Monroe is naturally curious. Okay, so where are they? What is beyond this point? He's hitting that barrier over there. Now he's very clearly being told that you're not ready to actually transcend that barrier. But if you wish it, we are willing to work with you to prepare you, right? So now if you really see when we are going into the expanded states, when we are going into F10 and F12, there is a preparatory process which is there, which is actually setting us up to go into that expanded state. So this is what he's experiencing here. You need to be prepared to go into that particular state of consciousness. Once you're prepared, then you'll be able to experience it.
When they state it's not simple, I knew it was an understatement from my perspective, but it was what I wanted. Yes. We will make the adjustments necessary in your space time belief. The perception must be yours alone.
So again, whatever we experience, we always experience with our own perception, right? It is our perception which gives us, puts into perspective as to what we are experiencing. There may be 100 people experiencing the same event, but after the event, if you ask them about the event, you will get 100 different perspectives about that particular event. So they are very clearly telling him that whatever you experience has to be your own perception. We cannot give you a perception about whatever you are experiencing.
Click. I am playing out in the front yard, riding my tricycle on and off the sidewalk and into the grass. The sun has gone out behind a cloud, but it hasn't started to rain. I think if it gets dark, I can light the candle in my tin can headlight. But I'll have to go in the kitchen to get some matches. When I get bigger, I'm going to have me a blue car that goes RR. Then I'm going to have an airplane. That's what I want most, an airplane, so I can fly up through the dark cloud, up where the sun is shining behind it. Then I could go up and dive through the cloud. View, view. Oh shoot, it's starting to rain. I'll have to go in the house. Just one more circle in the yard. I have my airplane. View, view. Big flash of light, white light, lightning. Bang. I am off my tricycle in the grass. Grass is wet. Got to get up and get in the house. Get my tricycle on the porch so it won't get wet. But I can't move. I can't move. What's the matter? It's dark. I can't see, can't feel anything. I'm not hurt. I don't hurt anywhere. But I can't see, can't get my face out of the grass. Got to get up. My bike will get wet and it will rust. Got to get it on the porch. But I can't move. I can't move. What? Just balloon it. And I can go to the porch. How could I forget that? How could I forget to balloon? What would make me forget something so basic? Yes, balloon can do it without thinking how anybody can balloon. And yes, three-way. I could do a three-way and it wouldn't be dark. Why? Any curl can do a three-way without turning. You need to three-way if you want to keep your spiral going. What happened to me that I would forget such a simple thing as that? I could pull a skip and skip, skip, and there's more. It's all coming back. I remember it all. And those important fundamentals that I never thought about forgetting because it was impossible. It is as basic as who you are. How is it possible that I forgot these and all the rest that I know? I am astounded that I could forget. Forget. I'm getting wet. It's raining hard. I'm getting muddy. That big bang was thunder, hurt my ears, but I can hear and I can move. I feel, but I don't hurt. So I guess I'm all right. Got to get my bike up on the porch and get a rag and wipe the water and mud off. Click.
So this is an experience that he's having, right? He's understanding that he can do something, but he's not able to do it.
Now I remember I was very young, playing out in the front of the house before a thunderstorm. The lightning hit a power pole near the street, not me. My father told me the concussion or something stunned me, and he carried me up to the front porch. I was all right in a few minutes, but the rest of it, I had forgotten completely. Even now, I just remember the knowing, not the details. A glimpse of who you are before you undertake the human experience. How it took place is not important. Such momentary recall occurs frequently during the physical process, but is obscured and discarded amid the more immediate, consistent impact of physical information input. Yet the event is retained below the surface of consciousness and therefore affects your subsequent action. It is significant that thenceforth you did not fear lightning and thunder, as you call it, but found pleasure in such manifestation. This is one effect of such pre-human recall brought near your physical conscious level. Another, more cogent, was the subtle alteration in your physical life process that led you unknowingly to your present state.
So that experience that he had as a child made him get over the fear of lightning. And because of that experience, he was put into an altered state, right? Now, in that altered state, it shifted the way, or it shifted his personality so that he could become what he is right now.
I hope that doesn't mean that everyone has to get almost struck by lightning to begin to wake up. It wouldn't be a very popular method. Most such events are so gentle as to remain unnoticed, yet they are there if recall is necessary. We have another episode for you if you desire it.
So
How-
again, many things happen to us, but we don't recall it, but it is held in a subconscious level. So many times if we are scared of something or some pattern is reverting, it is some incident which we have not yet been able to harness and transcend, which is blocking us and keeping on creating that pattern. This is something that we see very much in biofield tuning. When we are doing a timeline in biofield tuning, certain incidences start coming up, which have actually molded the way that you are experiencing life. And then if that clearing takes place, the patterns also start to disappear from your life.
How could I forget these things? Yes, yes. Here is another area of your perception that is a part of the emergence you have long forgotten. It is completely your own. We do no more than assist you in your recall.
I think we can stop here. It's 2 minutes.